Hi everybody, I'm Rootscon.
I'm Josh.
I'm Mumbles.
And I'm Seamus.
And, we're doing Mass Effect 2 some more.
I don't think you need to say that before absolutely every episode, Josh. I think people
it definitely...
I have to remind myself.
Yeah, otherwise we
that
confuse
we're not
this
playing
with Borderlands.
Years of Space.
However, if you are patient, I would love to talk.
So, we're in the,
Interesting.
Hear more about the criminal you were chasing.
Yeah, we're in the interesting... We're in the loyalty mission phase of the game.
If I wish to avoid this topic.
Which is kind of where the game really opens up. And everyone, every single... Yeah, the part where the game finally gets good. Every single character has a loyalty mission, which we will probably not do for time constraints, and because, you know, it's funnier when lots of people die at the end.
Yeah, the final mission...
What Josh is saying is that we're only going to do some of the loyalty missions, not that we're not going to do any of them.
Right. At the end of the game, there's the final mission, and the performance of your team depends on how many of them have done the loyalty mission, and there's several key positions. If you put somebody on a job and you haven't done the loyalty mission with them, they will fail and die. And we definitely want to show that off. We want to see some people die. In fact, I think we have some favorites that we're going to try and kill if we can.
Of course.
But we're going to do Samara's if we can.
Yeah, so the plan was to do Samara's, but she's not actually wanting to talk to us about anything, so we're going to go to our backup plan, which is go bug Morden.
Yeah, Morden is my favorite mission. I really hope he gives it to... I mean, not just my favorite mission in the game, but one of my favorite missions from BioWare ever. I love it. It's an interesting philosophical puzzle.
Planning attack. Too important to wait. Just receiving data. Still processing.
So, I guess for those who thought we're being too negative, now's where we stop being too negative?
The genophage?
I remember.
Well, this is the best part in the game, so...
was growing too quickly. Overcoming genophage.
Makes sense.
You'll hear the rare thing where we actually praise something in this game.
Of genophage, released it on Tuchanka, other colonies.
Oh lord, actually, I don't know if I can take that.
Population.
Nice job. I can see.
I just sent off to Chemistry Supplies Incorporated for a new bag of bile. You telling me I'm not gonna be able to use it?
Well, just save it
I'm
for
sure
later.
we'll find things. Yeah, oh my goodness, you will need all of it. You will run dry before we get to the end of this game. I promise you, the final mission is going to destroy your soul.
Yeah.
More pressing issue now.
What it does to the Mass Effect universe is horrible. But let's not talk about it, let's save it. Let's savor the agony when the moment comes. Let's talk about Morden now.
Do you think they found out your team updated the genophage?
Our science tadpole.
Until we get to Tuchanka.
We'll go to Tuchanka.
So basically, I don't know if we actually got to this when we were talking to Morden earlier, but he was part of a team that worked on updating the genophage because the Krogan were beginning to become immune to its effects. Fucking context-sensitive run key. So...
Miranda wants to see you.
Miranda wants to see me, yeah, no. So, someone...
Miranda wants to see you. Yeah, that's at the top of our to-do list.
Someone's apparently found, where the hell are we? We're the Shadowbroker base.
Way to keep focused, yeah.
I don't know where we are! So somebody's found out that one of his team members was involved in it, or apparently has found out, and he wants us to go help them So we're gonna go to Tuchanka, which also happens to be where another old teammate is.
So we're helping someone with something related to the genophage?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is this mission like if you bring, like, for example, Grunt along?
That was how I rolled this mission. I rolled it with Grunt and Morden, and I was very disappointed that Grunt didn't have more to say. He's basically, the loyalty missions are all about the person that you're doing the loyalty mission for. They will have a lot to say about their own mission, and no matter who else you bring, they won't have a lot to say. You can bring Grunt. Of course, in this game, it makes sense that Grunt wouldn't have a lot to say about the genophage. It doesn't affect him. He's basically a newborn.
Wasn't the point of, like, the whole thing that Okir was doing was that Grunt was going to wear the genophage like a badge or something?
Yeah, he's immune to it. He doesn't give a crap, and he's not interested in it either. I mean, he is kind of a kid. He just wants to fight, and he doesn't really grasp the details of the genophage, except to know that it's bad, and it doesn't apply to him.
I guess that makes sense then. I mean, when I think about it, like what little I know from sort of paying attention about Grunt, that does make sense that he wouldn't really be too fussed about the genophage.
Although it is a little frustrating.
Rex along, that would be interesting.
Yes, it would be very interesting. I really like how Grunt is smaller than a full-grown Krogan. They didn't recycle the default Krogan model. Grunt is totally new, and he looks it. He looks like an adolescent.
The clan leader wants to speak with you. Keep your
That was a sultry eyebrow you just flashed that Krogan.
Headbutt him.
Take your business.
Is this the guy we
That's your solution to
headbutt?
everything, isn't it? Just headbutt, headbutt, headbutt.
No.
If that doesn't work,
The headbutt thing, I don't think we're gonna be able to see, but
no, we're
Grunt's
not.
loyalty
That's
mission. There's this guy who's always on your ass about shit, like always on your ass. So finally, there's a renegade option to headbutt him, and it totally wins over the Krogans. The Krogans like think you're on par with them, like, or at least they understand you, and like they're like, you're okay with us, human, and you're like, sweet.
Yeah, it's a really good moment. It reminded me a lot of the Klingons, especially the newer, next generation Klingons. That's sort of, they kind of expect you to go in and punch somebody in the face to get some respect.
Actually, that exact same thing happens in, like with the headbutt, happens in, I think, one of the early volumes of Transmetropolitan. Headbutt apparently is the universal sign for respect me.
In the future, that's the new fist pound of the future, is the headbutt.
Glad we didn't have to kill each other on Burmeyer.
You made the rise of her not possible.
So Rex is the team member that seems to be doing the most proactive shit, which is uniting all the Krogan clans.
We talked over the Shepherd thing, the first Shepherd. Oh well.
Shepherd.
Rex? Shepherd.
Also, that
Rex?
apparently Worf
Shepherd?
Krogan
Shepherd.
doesn't like what Rex is doing, and then
Is
Rex
this-
hit him with the head.
There
Now,
we go.
this guy sounds so much like Michael Dorn, speaking of the next
That is
generation
Michael
Klingons. Okay. I hadn't looked it up, but it sounded like him.
I haven't looked it up either, but that is definitely Michael Dorn.
How's the Normandy?
Michael Dorn does a lot of video game voice acting. He also did Marcus in Fallout 2 and Fallout New Vegas.
That's why I like
Yeah.
him.
Look good.
Yeah.
I really appreciate, A-list actors, or at least, television and movie actors that came to video games, especially the people that came in the early days, like for Fallout. Because we needed voice acting back then, and the big name actors would not, games didn't pay that much back then, they didn't get a lot of publicity. It was probably a little bit of slumming it for them, and I was so grateful every time an A-list actor, or at least, a well-known actor, would take part in a video game. I really appreciated it. Because it really made things so much better.
Fallout had some pretty good lists
Yes.
of voice actors. I mean, it had Richard Dean Anderson, Michael Dorn in number 2.
We will strengthen the race.
So what is Rex doing here specifically?
You threaten everything that makes us strong.
He's trying to reform the Krogan by uniting all the clans, and
To be a part of it.
I don't actually remember what he's doing beyond that.
How do you maintain security?
Let's ask.
No, I like that though. It's like he's sort of taking on a goal of improving the galaxy. You know, taking something that he thought was bad or wrong with it and moving towards it in his own special way. Unlike Garrus, who's just griefing people essentially.
He's not griefing people. He's being a vigilante.
This really does fit with Rex's character in the first game, where he was frustrated with the Krogans fighting each other, and he thought they should stop fighting and just breed for a while. I thought it was never explained how he got to become clan leader. Like, okay, you came with me on my spaceship. How did you pull this off? It wasn't like you had a ton of followers when you left the crew.
Didn't getting his family armor, if you did that in the first one, have something to do with it?
Maybe that was it.
But I didn't do it.
Although I'll bet you if you didn't,
playthrough.
yeah, I'm sure he's a clan leader either way.
This is the land of Kredok, Shiagar, and Vio.
Talk to the Krogan scientist. Is he here?
And here's another all-male race in the game, just like Garrus's race, just like the Batarians. Yeah, the Turians.
This one probably makes more sense than any of the other ones because they consider their females to be really important, considering like most of their children don't actually live.
I've seen concept art of Turians, though. They're in the comic books, but I don't know if that counts.
I can make one.
I would love to see them do something interesting with, you know, gender in these games, instead of just like, oh, we want to make a, we want to make a female, so we'll just take the male, make him less muscular, and put boobs on him. A pair of boobs. And making
That's what all games
female.
Do, though.
I know, and they all make them human female, and they even try and sexy them up sometimes. And I'd love for them to be really different from the males in some other way, like maybe the shell on their heads wouldn't be spiked, or they'd have a really different color, or something like that.
There's no reason for them to make the females just sexy, because the reason why they do it in games like WoW is because they think women or dudes want to play the female character because it's like good looking or whatever, and it needs to have a big ass and like boobs and be like curvy or whatever. But if you're playing a game where you don't play these aliens and you just interact with them, there's no reason for them to have to look that way. You have a lot more flexibility as far as what the character design looks like.
That's a really good point.
Now that you guys have pointed this out, like every race has only one gender that you see. Like the bullets, they're all male.
Yeah, every race
given
in this
they're
game.
always in suits, I'm not sure you could really
The
tell.
only exception is the Asari, or like the Asari, like the designated eye candy / elf Mary Sue race.
Yeah, humans are the only ones where we see lots of male and female, and you could say, well, in the other races, the males and females just look alike, but they give them all male voice actors, and it ends up with this game being very, very male. Almost everybody you talk to is a male or an Asari. You know, at least in terms of voice acting.
Very male? What? That's
even
impossible.
for a video game, this is very male. I mean, even by video game standards, this game is just really masculine.
I think they try and make up for it with the
right here. It's like, hey, did you not pick the weapons you wanted just a second ago when you assigned your team? Oh, here, have some more.
I think they partially make up for the whole gender disparity by, if you think about it, a lot of the humans you meet are female. Like maybe, yeah, I would have to guess more than half.
But that's too easy, because you can make a female look attractive, and so you just have attractive chicks running around, or you have attractive blueberries running around. Like, to me, it's just like, is the race attractive? Yes. Okay, then make it female. Is it not really attractive? Okay, then just keep them male. Just keep them male.
No, yeah, I agree. I was just, I was explaining what they're attempting to do, not necessarily saying that's a good thing.